Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be telling you about Crusader Kings II, a PC grand strategy sandbox game centered around Europe. It was originally released in 2012, meaning it has over a decade of development behind it, and it's also completely free. It is one of my all-time favorite games, and I hope that I can convince you to get it. The game begins in 1066. Its developers, Paradox Interactive, boast a plethora of various historical simulators like this one, and they've done their research. In the West, the Spanish Peninsula is a battleground between Muslim and Christian kingdoms vying for regional dominance. Duke William the Bastard is preparing for his conquest that will see him crowned King William the Conqueror. The Holy Roman Empire remains the dominant entity in Central Europe, while the popes of Rome dream of taking back the Holy Land from Islamic hands. Meanwhile, in the east, the Seljuk Turks are threatening to finally put an end to the remnants of the Roman Empire. The Fatimid Caliphate remains the foremost power in Egypt, and further east still, India remains fractured, and beyond the game's borders, Mongol tribes are stirring. So, what's your role in this? In CK2, you take control of a landowner. This is the era of feudalism, a nightmarish system of government. But this is how Paradox depicts it. The game is split into almost 2,000 counties. Someone who owns a county is called a count. Every ruler must hold at least one county. Counties are where taxes and soldiers are generated. You can't manage every county in your realm by yourself, though, and in order to administer your realm, you have what are called vassals. Vassals are subjects who rule land for you. They rely on you for protection, and in return, they provide a fraction of the taxes and soldiers their counties generate to you, their liege. The game splits realms into a hierarchy of titles. If you have a few counts as vassals, then you are a duke ruling over a duchy. If you are a king in charge of a kingdom, then you have multiple vassals that are dukes, each with their own county level vassals. An emperor is at the very top, and he may have king vassals who has duke vassals who have county vassals. CK2 is a sandbox game where you can do many things. The player decides if a playthrough has been successful or not, and whether a campaign has been completed or not. The only conditions for defeat are if you are no longer a landowner or if your dynasty dies out. As it's a strategy game, players may pause the game at any time to perform actions, and when unpaused, every tick of time represents one day passed within the game. Players choose any landowner to play in 1066. They can start as a lowly vassal or the most powerful of kings. The choice is yours. Every character has an age, a level of education, a few traits that describe them, and six main stats. As you may play the game for centuries, your character will eventually die, and you will continue as the child of your previous ruler. The player chooses how to go about the game. You can be a benevolent ruler who is adored by all, or a tyrannical lunatic who executes all disobedient subjects. You can be a great conqueror and expand your empire, or stay a small but prosperous trading kingdom. All choices come with consequences, though. Players must manage a few resources such as soldiers, gold, prestige, and piety, while also being sure to keep vassals happy, as they may decide to team up and overthrow tyrannical rulers. Medieval succession laws dictate that a realm should be divided by all eligible heirs, but you can only play as one person, making succession a key gameplay component. But other than that, do as you please, just like the kings and queens of medieval Europe once did. Want to wage war? It's encouraged. Want to join your fellow Christians on a crusade? Well, it's in the name of the game. Duel your foes, seduce the Pope, eat your prisoners, castrate your political enemies, become a polar bear, marry your family. All of this and much more in Crusader Kings II. It's probably clear that I love Crusader Kings II. The only downside of the game that I could think of was the many somewhat costly DLC. Many important and sometimes somewhat essential features are locked behind a paywall. But then again, the game is free, and I found the base game itself to be enjoyable for many, many hours. On top of that, an extremely large and dedicated modding community means that the fun just piles on for free. The game also features multiplayer, and this game is ridiculously silly and extraordinarily fun with friends. So that's my review of Crusader Kings 2. Just give it a shot. It's free, takes up little space, it could probably run on a smart fridge, and above all, it is super fun. Thank you, and happy crusading.